Hello, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Smith, for inviting me to this event. Let me get this started here. I'm really honored to have been invited. Thank you to all of the panelists who have presented or will present. Just hearing all of your different stories, you do incredible work. And so I'm just honored to share a panel with you today. So hi, my name is Jasmine Green. I am a visual artist born and raised here in the city of Pittsburgh. I often go by the artist name Black Girl Absolute. As Reverend Smith already mentioned, I'm an artivist with One Hood Media, and Sarah described this a little earlier, but artivism is the combination of art and activism. So that's something that I practice as well. I'm an assistant with the Center for Creativity at the University of Pittsburgh, and I'm also the proud daughter of one Mrs. Ramona Spencer here at the Pittsburgh Theological Seminary. So, my work as an artist centers on Black people, with the humanization of Black women being at the forefront of that work. I cover topics from police brutality and racial justice to fat liberation, celebration of self, mental health and wellness, and the like. These are some examples of my work spanning over the past 4 or so years. The overriding goal of my work is for people to see themselves within what I create and that they are worthy of all things, especially protection and praise. The slogan that you'll often see over everything that I do is the phrase, "You are enough," referencing the fact that Black people do not need to be compared to whiteness or Eurocentrism in order to be considered enough. And so it is through the lens, through this lens that I was able to participate in an amazing event with the University of Pittsburgh over the course of this past year. The impact of said project summarized in this amazing quote by Robin D.G. Kelley, which reads, "Struggle is par for the course when our dreams go into action. But unless we have the space to imagine and a vision of what it means to fully realize our humanity, all of the protests and demonstrations in the world won't bring about our liberation." This quote by Robin D.G. Kelley was one that I used to start off my speech for the opening reception of the Black Lives in Focus art exhibition on September 9th that happened on both Carnegie Museum and the University of Pittsburgh this past year. I selected this quote because it masterfully was able to reflect on the power of publicly visible art as a means to shift focus from conversation on Black people as just mattering to ones about Black life and Black thriving. So what is the Black Lives in Focus exhibition? So this was an exhibition featuring 21 visual works and 10 written works by artists and writers who are either from or currently living in Western Pennsylvania and centering in on Pittsburgh. This exhibition first opened on the University of Pittsburgh's Pittsburgh campus. It's 2 Pittsburghs right next to each other there. And it debuted first on September 9th, as previously mentioned, and has since been traveling through all of Pitt's campuses. 3 days ago, it just made its appearance on the Johnstown campus to much excitement. And so here I have a little walkthrough so you have an idea of what the exhibition looked like when it was on the University of Pittsburgh campus. And so all of the artworks and visuals and written words were posted on these panels here so people could walk through this pathway, which is the ODK walkway in between Heinz Chapel and the Cathedral of Learning. And so these are just 3 examples of some of the pieces that were in the exhibition as a whole. On the left is Jamila Platt's Duchess Gaze, which was created in 2020. In the center, you have a poem by Jamilia Kamara called Inheritance. And then on the right, you have Marlana Varsar's Double Star, which was completed in 2013. And again, this is just 3 of 30 works. So if you wanted to see more of those, you can go to pi.tt/BLIF. There we have the entire collection of works that were shown in this exhibition. And so this was part of a greater initiative of the same name, Black Lives in Focus, which asked the question, what do we learn when Black life is in focus? I was tapped to help out with this project, both as an assistant with the Center for Creativity as well as being a local artist in the city for the past decade. I am in this project an initiative associate, helping to craft the exhibition from its original planning days back in 2020 all the way up to the exhibition debut. I also became the chair of the text selection committee after leading a push to include written works as well as visual. Originally, it was just supposed to be visual works, and I thought that adding in written works, text, poems was a crucial aspect of being able to express oneself through this theme. I was also honored to be selected as one of the artists featured within the show itself. So this is my contribution named Safe and Sound. This piece honors Breonna Taylor, Ayanna Stanley Jones, and anyone whose home was made not to be a space of rest, relaxation, and most importantly, security. It ponders a future whether being at home is synonymous with being safe and sound. So just go through a description of this piece. So this was a painting that was created in the summer of 2020 following news and protests surrounding Breonna specifically. It features a Black woman at rest with a golden bonnet, thick blankets, and plant life surrounding her as she rests. A golden finch keeps watch over her as she anchors herself into this moment, wanting this piece to last forever. So there were plenty of powerful aspects about this exhibition, including its proud placement on, as previously stated, the ODK trail between the cathedral and Heinz Chapel. The lack of tension and ability to meaningfully interact with the works in a way that often cannot happen within museum walls, and the ability to witness such incredible talent from many of our own neighbors, among whom included professors, students, local artists, and an incarcerated writer. And this is just a picture from its debut on Johnstown's campus a couple of days ago. But the greatest force that this exhibition carried was one that I had not expected going into the planning and execution of the exhibition. It was how public art can completely shift the conversation from one on Black lives just mattering to one about what ways we could help to center Black life and what would happen once Black life is censored. That our goals are not to keep fighting as we are in this moment, but to fight towards something better on the other side. That public art can be utilized as a focal point for organizing around goals without the pressure to be respectful, respectable, or resigned about it. So these are another two pieces that were in the exhibition. The first one is by Taylor Waits. This is a poem named Censor Me. And then on the right, it is a piece by Dale Monofiston named Black Joy. This is actually a photograph that she took of her younger sister in this field of beautiful flowers. Seeing how this exhibition cultivated 2 weeks of pure Black joy was something that has and will always stick with me for a lifetime. As the collection continues to travel, it is my hope that it will bring with it that necessary paradigm shift, that we will not have to justify our existence, but rather for society to justify why our lives cannot be made better. And this is one of the writers in the exhibition, Isaiah Spencer Williams, and he's showing our Chancellor, Patrick Gallagher, his piece in the show. And so we return to the overriding question of this initiative: what do we learn when Black lives are in focus? And for me, that's this quote that I pulled from, again, that speech during the reception. And that is, there is nothing more sacred than a people's vision of what could be if we are censored long enough to allow ourselves to dream. And so that's all I have for today. Thank you again so much. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I can't wait to speak with you further during the Q&A.
Thank you so much, Ms. Green. Very, very powerful work you're doing to center an important aesthetics and important analysis, to give voice to people whose voices are not always heard through your artwork. Very powerful, just so appreciative of the work you're doing, and certainly wish you all the richest of God's blessings as you continue your work. We did have one question, a particular kind of informational question. Were these painted on screens?
Oh, so these are reproductions of original artwork and written work by the artists. So this was something, since all of our exhibitions are featured outside, we wanted to make sure that the original works were protected. And so all of our works in this exhibition were reproduced on mesh screens. That way they're easily able to be transferred between campuses. Some of our pieces in the exhibition aren't just like 2D paintings. Some of them are ceramic works. One by Naomi Chambers was actually this plastic bag with, your children are safe here written on the front. And so in order to make sure that these were consistently shown and that, again, those original works were protected, they're all reproduced. So the reproductions are what are traveling around currently.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Green.